Hello, fellow humans. Joe Banjo here, coming at you today with a special episode of this video series. Today we're going to talk about a very crucial connection between the styles of banjo playing and the styles of guitar playing that have dominated American popular music for the last more than 200 years. And so these, like so many important things in our culture, come from Black Americans, from African Americans. When enslaved peoples were brought over on ships, they were not allowed to retain a lot of their culture, but they did remember things. They remembered their instruments, they remembered how they played them. And so the banjo originally comes from Africa. It's a West African instrument that was kind of reconstituted by folks who were enslaved in the late 17 and early 1800s. And by the end of the 1800s, it was the most popular instrument out there. Sadly, and to many people, because of blackface minstrelsy. But in any case, Black Americans took a style that they would use on instruments from Africa, like the ngoni, and they applied it to their newly constituted banjo, where the important thing is that you drop your arm and you have, it's all downward motion. And so your fingers strike the strings, your thumb rests on the strings, your thumb releases the tension off the drone string, and the whole arm bounces up. So all of the motion comes from the elbow, and so it's called claw hammer or frailing. It's called claw hammer because you hold your hand in a claw, and that is the fundamental motion of it. There's other things you can do too. There is just finger picking on the instrument. There is up pulling, which my friend Jerron Paxton taught me, where you do one up motion on that beat right there. So there's lots of ways to approach it, but the important thing that we're talking about today is the way that this style was adapted to the guitar. So if you listen, I'm going to play a short snatch of melody from Woody Guthrie's Pastures of Plenty, because I like it and it's fun to play. It goes like this, with frailing or claw hammer style. Okay, so that's that melody on the banjo. Now, let's listen to the same melody on the guitar with that same principle intact. I read that this was a thing, that banjo styles were adapted to the guitar, and that's where blues guitar styles came from. But it was really made real to me when I was studying at the Port Townsend Acoustic Blues Festival. Again, Jerron was there and had hired the great Andy Cohen, who's based in Memphis and one of the great finger-picking guitar players around. And he was describing Reverend Gary Davis's guitar style. Now, the Reverend would use one thumb, his thumb, and his finger. And he could do things like this. But whatever he would do, even if he was playing a single line like that, he would just drag his thumb down, his thumb would catch, and on the way back up, his finger would catch. So it's the same as the frailing motion, or very similar to it, but you can do it all on one string, just like that. So when you take that into like a finger picking context, you get, so the thumb is playing that pattern, just a 1, 2, 1, 2, and then wherever you need it, you can pluck with the other finger against the thumb. But all the work is being done by the forearm. So if I was trying to play Pastures of Plenty, I'd be like, it's just all that is one way in which African American banjo styles got adapted to the guitar. And then that could become blues guitar playing. You could hear things like this. Monotonic bass. Or the kind of what's called Piedmont style that Gary Davis mastered. Where you have a solid, but it's a lot similar to frailing. It's just that in frailing on the guitar it sounds like, you don't want your thumb playing the offbeat very much. You want your thumb playing a downbeat, so your thumb catches on the way down, and your finger catches on the way up. And that's how black banjo styles became black guitar styles. Popularized banjo styles became blues guitar, and then of course blues guitar took over the world through the popularity of that music, through rock and roll, and all the way through rap and hip hop. So that is a really important connection to understand as we study the important contributions of Black America to American culture as a whole. Thanks for joining today, and I'll see you next time.